Welcome back. The Supreme Court heard arguments today in a case to test how much states can consider race when drawing congressional boundaries. The justices later this year will decide whether to leave in place Louisiana's congressional map that includes 2 majority black districts. It was used, this map, that is to say, in the 2024 election. Now, opponents of the map claim that a second created majority black district relied too heavily on the racial composition of that electorate. Melissa Quinn joins us now. Melissa, we will not go into all the torturous details of all the legal maneuverings around this congressional map in Louisiana. First question, how did it sound at oral arguments today? Any way to detect where the justices are?
It was very tough to say. Sometimes you can kind of read the tea leaves from arguments. That was not the case today. I think the focus is on the 3 justices that really represent the center of this court. That's Chief Justice John Roberts, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, and Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Justice Kavanaugh focused a lot of his questions on really how much longer states will need to take race into consideration when drawing their district lines. Chief Justice Roberts then focused a lot on the shape of this district, which is very odd. It stretches from one corner of Louisiana to the other corner. He said it resembles a snake, but Justice Barrett, a lot harder to read.
And what's really at stake here is not just this map in Louisiana, but the fate of the Voting Rights Act and the application in other congressional district maps on racial bounds.
Absolutely, and that is a really big concern for voting rights groups. There is a sense that the court could strike down Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act as unconstitutional. That is not the question in this case. That's not to say that that is not something that the court could consider in a future case. There's also a concern that the court could accept an argument from Louisiana here, which is basically that courts should not be in the business at all in weighing in on these disputes over the drawing of political boundaries. That seizes on something that Justice Clarence Thomas wrote in a concurring opinion in a separate case last year. Important to note, though, that no other justice joined Justice Thomas's concurrence. That did not come up during the argument today, so it doesn't seem at this point that there is an appetite on the court to sort of embrace that.
And some of the brief history here is that the original map, which only had 1 majority black district, was viewed as not representative enough of the black population in Louisiana. The legislature drew this map, and then it was challenged.
Yes, that's right. And the legislature has said, look, we had to comply with a district court ruling from a few years ago that said that our original map likely violated Section 2, and they had to draw a second majority black district. Crucially, though, the state is also saying, look, we took into consideration politics here because we had to protect our high-profile Republican incumbents. That's House Speaker Mike Johnson, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, and Congresswoman Julia Letlow, who sits on the Appropriations Committee. They said, yes, we had to take race into consideration in order to adhere to the district court's decision, but politics also played a crucial role.
And that political calculus, as I understand it, is one of the reasons that we just showed the map that this thing is so elongated, that there were ways to draw it in a more compact way, but to do that would have been harmful potentially to those other very high visibility, powerful Republicans.
That's absolutely right. And that is a point that the state solicitor general really hammered home today, which is that states are allowed breathing room when drawing their political voting boundaries. And that breathing room for Louisiana meant protecting some of these key Republicans in Congress.
Outstanding context and facts. Melissa Quinn, thank you really very, very much.